Hopping into Overpass here now, and this is the home territory for Brazen. We'll see if they can bounce back after what was a pretty intense nuke, but a closer from Kari from the last. That nets them a map advantage here. Now we'll see if Brazen can give us a little fight like they were showing in that late half.
Yeah, and it's going to be quick on to B. Just a solo smoke double flash. And it should be quick through a monster, but they're poising for a bit of time here to take a bit of short and then pouncing. There comes the smoke lined up. Here come the flashes. And it's the go button for Brazen.
They're walking into a 4-man stack though here. They're well prepped for this attack. Still though, Polo and Rizu Infinite all striking in unison for the openers, and so they're dealing with this stack with ease. The utility game right now for Brazen is so pristine. Now Kari's gonna make a late flank here, but catches all 3 players running away. And now he's hot on their pursuit, hot on their tail. I don't know if he's picked up the kit. Yeah, he hasn't, so he's gonna have to make this one quick. And instead just walks quickly into Danejoris' crosshairs. Brazen, despite walking into what was a hefty stack, again, it's this defensive collapse coming through from Kari. They got the right idea. They just can't land the shots in some of these rounds.
Yeah, that trading though from Brazen was immaculate. I mean, even though they lose that opening pick, they swell forward and make sure that no kill goes untraded, and it does very, very well for the Brazen side to have an early start. Again, a full save here from the CTs. Kari's trying to play as sensibly as possible, keep their economy in check, get back into this game as quickly as possible. Don't let those Mac 10s farm up as much as possible. Have 2 rounds to do so, and instead just 1. But it's this full connector stack here that Infinite might be able to spot out with this boost. Maybe 1 player, nothing, but you'll see quite soon.
What was that? Oh no, JT just jumped in front of his teammate right there perfectly for Infinite to peek that corner and just mow them all down. Bit unfortunate right there, but honestly, there wasn't too much to expect from Kari. They were only wielding the USPs. No Zeuses on this occasion. So, sparks don't fly. Neither do the rounds for Kari, but maybe they can start now here. They've obviously went for that full eco to get the investments here and now. We'll see what that nets them, any sort of success. They're going to start things off with a triple A lean. Got Cryptic being sent in early. We know him to be that out-of-yard player, aggressive as ever on nuke. It looks like he just wants to continue to be that aggressive force on the defense here, just taking a lot of space. It's actually Florence is going for most of the early positioning here, deep in towards Guardian. This goes on cleared, unbeknownst to Rizu. And then Cryptic strikes off the back of it, so a little contact play coming through. The 1-2 punch successful from the duo here on A, and they still have Freshy sticking about as well.
They're kind of propelled Brazen to push onto the B site here. They've got a little bit of utility to at least make some headway. They've gotten rid of Toxic Barrel, but Freshy gets yet a double for him, and it's just great. A 1v5, just a Mac 10, a hope and a dream, but it's all dashed, and the full save actually working out in spades for Kari. Getting on the board as early as possible, keeping 5 alive, stifling the economy earlier on for Brazen. You're loving life if you're the CTs.
But you are. You're having a great old time right there. They were kind of dealing with a slight bonus round there for Brazen, but honestly, there was a lot of luxury being brought to the table there. It just seems like they got caught a little bit lackadaisical in some of the clears. And off the back of that, some free opening picks. You can see Kari. We talked about a little bit of that confidence game. Late towards nuke, right? Sticking with the gameplay and sticking with that CT aggression. They're dry peak monster, maybe with, a molly down, sure, but it's bold calls to make here from Kari, and it remains consistent when it comes down to Overpass as well. Very promising. Look at that, man. Cryptic gonna line up 1, 2, and a third. Oh my god. Precision coming through from Cryptic. That is beautiful. 1 more to turn the goal straight. I would be very careful if I were you. He eventually will find the trait, but nothing will help from Florence. Grape looked like he was aware of it, but doesn't fully commit. Polo, in the meantime, going to 12. Oh, yeah, these days are numbered. Freshy gonna finish the job, but there's Cryptic coming through with the impact once again.
Spacing not efficient there from Brazen, and Cryptic punishes. Beautiful triple there, going on for a quad. and he locks down bathrooms. Great little double setup. Although it doesn't actually spring with the long side of things, it still reaps its rewards there. Cryptic getting on the board with a beautiful triple. And it's just Glocks for Brazen.
Man, that it is here. We talk about Overpass, you know, very much so lends itself to that CT side, and can be a bit scary. We talk about the cushion rounds there. That HE's gonna be so perfect, well placed, and he's gonna farm up some kills. Another one of those players stepping up there big time on Luke. And if we see the same, you know, suspects showing up here and delivering in the impact for Kari on this map, then why wouldn't it work, right? It worked so wonderfully last map, so seems like that same idea, the same game plan going to fall into pieces here for Kari. A little Krieg action though. It immediately draws my attention from Prizu.
Whenever you buy that weapon, you do have to take some kind of economical hit for it. And I'm still not seeing enough viability from this gun post-nerf. We saw a little bit of it in tier 1 play here and there, but not all that successful. And the Krieg doesn't actually get activated this time around. It's rather Cryptic and Florence and Freshie as well. This can't even get involved. Just contact plays around the map. They're getting hungry. They're getting aggressive, Kari. And they're starting to brim with confidence here, Cole.
Yeah, this is the definition of confidence. Now, I'm watching the mini-map here, and I'm seeing all 5 players kind of position themselves towards the B side, interestingly enough. They might be able to mosey their way on in towards A. At the very least, get a post play. And I think that would probably be an overperformance for what this round is as well. Utility being bombarded in towards this, and soon they're going to realize they've been duped. But a 5-on-2 retake, I don't really know if I'm convinced just yet that Brazen have it in them. With that Krieg, you're going to really need that fire rate to step up, and you know, 2-on-5. I don't think the Krieg has just that. He's going to go on the aggro. That's ready to meet him here. Spotting some shoulder there. Cryptic just wisely playing a little bit of an off angle here, waiting for his teammates to activate. Rizu is able to isolate. Another one potentially give it over. Polo finds it. Now looking to find the trade there all of a sudden. Okay, never mind. It's contained. If Florence would have gone down there, JT fell, and we could have talked about Brazen closing that round, but they find the trades necessary.
No, we don't need to keep the Krieg here, Florence. Come on. Pick up the AK. Oh,
put that down,
brother.
Ugh.
Oh, it's still, I mean, hey, one thing that we did see when the Krieg was as efficient as ever was it was the deadliest actually when the CTs had it.
Yeah.
But okay, it is still kept on over. I mean, that scope still can do damage. We did see the power of the AUG way back when. But the Krieg, not so much post nerf. And it's just down to Deagles here. Should still have a chance for the Krieg to do some damage.
Looks like the turn stays true. Oozing with confidence. Oh, run boost throws his aim just off enough. Find that opening pick there. That's going to be an A1S retrieved here. Op scope. Florence. Going to be tuned in towards long. They've got Freshie. The double scopes here on the A bomb site. Boost could go a long way here, especially with Dane on the rifle, but blocked down to the server there is Florence taking care of Dane. Beautiful work, and the flashbang even better right there. Another kill coming through. That's bomb dropped into a very awkward position.
Cute little positionings with the flashbangs there from Kari, and although they're getting a little bit uncomfortable here, it still should be easy pickings here for the Russian AWP. Pot shots. Down banana, but nothing as of yet. I mean, the utility is pretty much lackluster. Just these 2 smokes left on up, and it's gonna have to come down to the headies here. Infinite with that dig, trying to clear out Optimus. And I think he's got it. Yeah, fantastic shot from Infinite, and Grape through the smoke.
A little bit of an overheat there from Infinite, though. I think he didn't realize there were 2 in that smoke. How could you? Now the Krieg has to be put to full effect here. Polo might have spotted him as the smoke fades away, but maybe not. Freshie How patient are you going to be at holding this angle? Because you know you have to get the move on here. It doesn't matter. Pole is just going to swing into you. And now we can start talking about a 1v2 clutch here. JT has a smoke. He needs to find 2 players here. Contact game, far too much to deal with. Aim being thrown off just enough to make him struggle. And JT falls here. Brazen. They pull around out of the hat right there. And especially considering that was a 3-on-4.
It seemed as though they had control of the situation, but the crossfire falls apart. They force... I don't actually remember the player, but they force a player to play in that one-and-done position, close Optimus. And when you don't actually have a forward-facing player on back EPC, it's a real problem. It isolates that player, and basically, if they don't get one, the round falls apart. And a kill through the smoke definitely lends itself to working in Brazen's favor. Great with that Deeg as well. But a bit of a capitulation there in that late round situation, and Brazen capitalize. Money now firmly in their favor, winning off of an eco. And if you're Kari, you're kind of scratching your head wondering where it went, all went wrong, and try to right the ship as quickly as possible before more rounds start to get racked up here.
Looking to play a more dynamic approach towards long, but Cryptic's not really focused in on long at all. That's just a massive gap right there. Caught completely blindsided. Cryptic's been the one delivering in the impact, the multi-kills on this A-bomb site. But now he's down early, and they're going to entrust Freshie with the entirety of this A-bomb site, but they've got him locked in this position. And it's going to get checked. That's a guarantee here. Polo looking hard here by Infinite. Still kill comes through from Freshie, but the trade's so swift. It's going to be all in the round on the safe side of Polo.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the round decider.
You'd like to have for him to have a little bit more impact there. Maybe a 2-piece would come out if that first shot actually landed. But hindsight is hindsight. And we've got a tie game on our hands here. It didn't necessarily feel like it. Some of these rounds, you'd think Kari have the upper hand. They had the crossfires set up. But as soon as they dismount, Brazen strike. Timing's working out in their favor. The individuals starting to warm up. And that, at the end of the day, is what was lacking on Nuke. Those individuals on Kari, your Cryptics, your Florences, your Freshies, your Nieces, all having their moments. And you didn't have that kind of play from Brazen, that kind of swagger to them. And now, slowly but surely, we're starting to get some individuals to step up here. And I think that's kind of the most important thing in this series.
Yeah, but it's been hitting some nice shots here with the Deagle to get them back into these games, these rounds. Rizu, one person to note as well, wielding the op. And on Overpass T side, I feel like one of the sides that you can actually get the most impact out of mini maps on the T side, right? You can actually work this op to full effect. So, you know, just talking about how he was so well positioned on Nuke, you got to see something similar out of him on Overpass if they want to get, you know, their round counts to continue to rise. Still got ample time to do so as well, right? We're tied up 4s. And this is a good position to be in if you're Brazen. If you can keep that round count rising, you know, one more, you're going to start to build up a very dominant half.
And keep a neck on that economy as well. I mean, you look at the funds here, but that might all be for naught with Cryptic and Freshie lighting up the scoreboard. Now it's got to be this contact B play. All the reads here for Kari. They've got to convert this one.
There, but the entry's starting to take place. Great finds one. They know Niise is locked in this position. Niise still fights for his life, though. Finds a kill on the inbound. No waivers. Who makes this play.
Oh.
Aggressive as ever. Florence, how could you expect that? Cryptic now left. Last man standing here. A couple smokes to be tossed on in. One right underneath them, but he's just going to take the contact. He's going to try and utilize the element of surprise here to full effect. He might have actually seen that head come through. Oh, great penalty to stick out. Just wide enough. The shot still landed from Cryptic. But Rizu, quick on the trade. And as soon as you call his name, he wins the round right there for Brazen in the 2-on-2.
You couldn't have said it better, Cole. I mean, impact aplenty there from the AWP. You need to see this guy step up. He had a very fantastic CT half, but he started to drop off as the rounds progressed on Nuke. And seeing this confidence from this guy start to come back up is all important, especially when you head into that CT side. AWP's damn important on that defensive half. And it sent Kari packing. I mean, 6 rounds on the T side is nothing to scoff at this early on as well. I mean, how the script is flipped here on Overpass.
And it's the same case as Nuke, right? I mean, this map has definitely fallen way more in the favor of CTs at the moment. And so you start to talk about 6 rounds on the T side here, and it's very, very dire, very worrisome for Kari. This is, I mean, again, the map pick here coming through from Brazen. So it's no surprise we're seeing them succeed. Is he really jump scouting? Just maybe playing a little bit of an information game at the moment. What's weird about this Kari esports, pretty default CT setup is that they have 3 players pretty consistently leaning towards A rather than B.
It's very unorthodox for sure. I mean, we've very much had a B-centric meta, at least at the top levels of Counter-Strike. And you might get punished straight away. Niise down for the counter. It's just JD. He's gone as well. And there's just no fight back here from Kari. They just can't. They don't have the manpower. They've got a lot of long setups. They've got a lot of bathroom setups with 2-man setups. But they can't get sprung. And it leaves B susceptible and Brazen pounce. Obviously, this is an eco. Regardless of the situation, it might still have been quite an easy affair, no matter the site. But looking forward to the buy rounds, we will probably still see these very similar leans to A, and it could get easily punished. You're completely right.
I think it's already getting punished as well. We saw in that 3-on-5 that they were able to find the 2 opening picks, but thereafter they quickly realized that this is kind of a consistency that Kari are going for. I wonder if that's like a read that they came into this game knowing Brazen like to early default heavy presence towards that A side, because in the beginning stages it was working wonderfully, right? They were letting Cryptic and Florence play off each other to perfection. They had that 1-2 punch of the rifle duo, and then Fresh Use was kind of tucked in towards connector. I think all of a sudden they're forced to maybe rethink this early game plan for Kari, because these 3-man aliens are starting to be a bit vulnerable, and we finally do see a slight adjustment here. Fresh is going to go back towards that side.
Yeah, Brazen just a bit better on the adaptations, and they deservedly okay. I mean, this in and of itself is probably enough. Holding party down with the AWP, having the rifle to spring immediately after, and kind of give up long, especially when it's not even been aggressed upon that much throughout this half. Very late game situations where long is being exploited. And as I say that, Freshie is rotating to kind of take care of that, but Banana is the most important portion of the map at this point in time. Infinite's gotten all of this space, and it's going to be this head-to-head collision between him and Cryptic. Could be, honestly, the matchup to decide the round. But they kind of hold their haunches here, and with all of that control, maybe they leave Infinite to lurk and pounce back onto the B side.
That's exactly what they're going to do here. Infinite needs to show some sort of presence here, but East is standing very far forward. A little nose flash could go a long way. Polo's been spotted out. Perfectly timed smoke from JT. Very well placed here, and you're going to see Infinite actually die in that lurk. He does get found out there, so just in time. Now we're starting to see that impact come through on these B anchors to couple up with the A prowess, and yeah, they're going to call this round off here pretty quickly. Once the game plans start to go sour for Brazen, they know that pushing their luck through that smoke is not going to go their way. And probably for the best, but that's a really well put together round right there from Kari. They do some stock standard stuff, right? We've seen that set up assembled so many times on Overpass. It seems like without fail, if you try and test it, it's not going to go your way.
And a little bit more efficient there from Freshie with his rotations. You saw him start to feel a little bit of movement coming onto the banana side of things, and he immediately shifts his presence on over to long. And as soon as they start to see a little bit of leg from Niise on the B side of things, he's already there on Graffiti. I know it didn't actually amount to anything, but just seeing that adaptation is very important for later rounds. Because look, it's going to be tough to get through the funds of Brazen for the rest of this half. And they're going to have to be on the top of their game if they want to close out with the winning half, or even better, a 9-6 half. I mean, making a better situation out of a bad one is kind of the name of the game as of right now for Kari. And it's got to start here with the slow and smaller adaptations from the likes of somebody like a Freshie.
Yeah, it's a really promising push and pull that both of these teams are putting together, right? You can see that there's that experience that Brazen are being able to adapt to the heavy A lanes, but also you couple that with a little reaction coming through from Freshie. It's a lovely bit of trading blows for these two teams. And again, when we talked about the experience gap, it wasn't so certain that we were actually going to see that. I like this idea here. Much more quick approach to the attempts, but JT's actually even watching this angle, it seems, and no one's exposing themselves to this. At far too aware to get away with a boost like this. But Grape is still standing and still hungry. Find an opening pick by it.
Niise flirting with the idea of pushing Monster there, but thinks better of it. Rizu now holds the angle. And I mean, they've been consistently getting short time in and time out. No real CT aggression on the B side of the map. And for that reason, these guys on the B side have to play that much more respectful. Because look, on the other side of the map, things are going swiftly well for them. Cryptic and Florence both chiming in. And it's just Polo on the A side of the map. Cryptic's flanked around the back again. And whatever space on B that Brazen might get, they say have it, Kari.
They assembled the same exact setup that they did in the last round, because in the last round, Brazen never actually spotted it out. It was just Cryptic that activated a little bit on that flank and was able to find Infinite. Infinite never actually realized that they were doing that bathroom setup, so they run it back. They repeat it, and it works out well this time. Just as well as it did in the previous. So that's a great little presence of mind there from Kari to repeat that.
And the execution honestly looked a little bit better than even the previous round. So again, very similar to Nuke, where they start to ramp up at the end of these halves. Slowly but surely, Kari is starting to get back into this map 2 of Overpass. But again, the guns, the funds, they still keep flowing for Brazen. And there's still a lot of work to do before Kari can truly be happy about this half. And again, look at how aggressive, at least initially, Florence and Cryptic are being with this double nade setup. They get a good bit of chip damage, and they finally fall away. They're not going to repeat it for a third time around. And instead, they're more resigned to keeping their utility on the A side of things. Play a bit more passive. See what Brazen try to throw at them. Because again, on the B side of things, it's still quite passive.
You gotta appreciate the communication that is being put forth from Florence and Cryptic though at the moment. They've had so many different game plans here on the A site, and that's what you need. You need your rifler to be in perfect communication with your opper here on this site, and that's what we've gotten out of them in some of these rounds. Some of these rounds we've also seen them actually leave a couple of gaps in the defense, so not all perfect, but the ideas are still in place here. And well, if Cryptic can just hold off all of long by himself, it's going to make Florence's job very easy.
This is always a very risky setup, but with the risk comes a pretty great reward. As this execute comes in, it's got to be Cryptic to stay alive as long as possible until the rest of the cavalry arrives. If he goes down early, this could be a round over quite soon.
Bold play to make there, but he will go down early. In fact, before the bomb even gets planted, the smoke's gonna fade soon. Dane around it, shadow shown, but he still nails the shot, and he finds himself the follow-up. Dane single-handedly opening up this game, this round. And now, I think Freshie and JT Mythic have some tough decisions to make ahead of them here. Not the best economical standing, so retaking this round is a luxury. They might be going forward here. Dane's still nailing him to the wall here. Just an absolute turret. Finds the follow-up as well as Infinite. He'll close it out. And what a phenomenal round. Brazen putting that one together.
Very, very
Great
well
strike.
done there. Yeah, I mean, negating the AWP there with the standard smokes and Molotovs, making sure that he can't even push past APC and take a pot shot before falling back to bank. And then taking care of Cryptic. They were aware that there could be a snake in the grass, and they pounce onto the long player. Grape doing a very good job to get rid of the long player. And a very well executed round there from Brazen. Well-deserved 7th round, holding on to this lead, come what way. And I mean, look, even if they drop the next 2 rounds, they should be happy with what they've put forth here thus far. 7 rounds on the T side is no easy feat. And they'll definitely be happy with what they've been putting on display here on Overpass.
No doubt. I mean, you gotta be. Anything that you get extra here, gonna be icing on the cake. Another couple of crossing players. Oh man. They try and send Niise in as support on his A-bomb site, but that doesn't seem to be doing too much. Utility game pretty good, but still the site compromised here. He's got to put a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Cryptic here once again to hold off this A-bomb site, and he's letting him slip on by here. He has maybe a little bit of a flanked action on JT Mythic, caught blindsided. Grape on the lurk is going to collect him, and now Cryptic going to have to reveal his position waiting for this lurk. He said he's going to try and play his cards right, be a little bit more sneaky.
I think he's trying to get out of dodge at this point. Time's run out. Cryptic's lurk has not necessarily netted enough value for this to work. I mean, it was just really a matter of timing there. There was just maybe a sliver of a window where maybe he could twist the knife into the backsides of Brazen, but not this time around. Has to hole up in the back of long. Has to give over the half win to Brazen. Have to just pick up the pieces in the round following.
Bitter pill to swallow right there, that's for sure. A half victory on the T side is exactly what Doctor ordered if Brazen want to try and take this the distance. Beautiful work being done from them on the entry, and you know, we saw a couple of rounds where they kind of conditioned some slight B takes, and I really feel like that's been why Kari have delayed out some of these A rotations, you know, bolstering up that site with a 3rd player rather than, you know, the typical 2 that we see on this. So it has just been that constant push and pull of these 2 teams, and you can definitely see some real depth and comfort, but Cryptic, he's looking to take matters into his own hands here, and again, it's been a real winning formula where the CT aggression has been exactly what they need to actually win these rounds. Florin's going to step out for another, and at the very least, we could see Kari walk away with some extra credit at the end of the half.
Rightfully so. They've earned it. They deserve it, but not this time around. I mean, Kari looking to just get that 7th round on the board, make it even as possible. Just Dane alive here in an impossible scenario. But if you're Brazen, you should definitely be happy with what you've put on display here. Pole position to take us to a 3rd. And they certainly love Mirage Cole. They'll be loving the potential decider on the cards.
Oh, Dane. Slow down there. Beautiful shots landed by Dane here, but we're going to be throwing it to a quick break here, and we'll see if he can keep that up in this next half right after this. We're back here. Second half of play here, and I do feel like Brazen walking into this with quite a strong showing here. It's very solid CT side put together, and now they look to capitalize off of it. The pistols have been strong for them so far, and I don't think they'll show any signs of stopping here.
Favored side, double flash kit solo, but quite a bit of utility, all things considered, for Kari Esports. Kitten.Niise, double flashes on both of them, a smoke Molotov. We're looking at a B set piece here, and all this connector control. Probably looking to a short pincer here and maybe a collapse on the B bomb site. Or maybe Infinite actually bite back with a little bit of CT aggression of their own.
Well, a game of timing here. That flash is really well placed.
Ooh,
in towards short and Infinite. There's nothing you can do in that sense. It is going to be finding an injury as well on towards that B side here. He's on a solo mission because the rest of his teammates have abandoned him. He's just trying to sell this fake. Eventually, he won't be able to find that kill on Rizu. So some fast rotations could beat Kari to the punch here on the site, and it will be Polo delivering some brutal blows with the USP. His teammates close by him, but Cryptic still fighting back. Utility toss on him, and Cryptic's finding every last kill. One more to go. Polo, 3 bullets left into the chamber as Cryptic turns the corner. He's got to get the reload off, and he will, but no, Cryptic puts an end to that madness and kicks things off right where he left off with a 4K.
What an incredible quad kill there from Cryptic. I mean, when you've got Polo just free firing there from garbage, not even having a smoke down to block him off, I mean, that's a tough round and a tough sight to crack open if you're Kari, but he steps up big, capitalizing on any of the reloads, capitalizing on any kind of space he was given. Very well done to tie things up. This is going to be a tough half for Kari, but you got to start somewhere and take the rounds where they come. And we've got a good start here. Force buy up for Brazen. Scout out for Polo, catching a tag on Florence. They've got a little bit of pots and pans to work around with, but it's still going to be tough, especially with these Galils out in play.
Yeah, that it is. Even despite a couple of tags here and there, not going to be easy, although I will say this. Presence in towards connector might be just enough to create some hesitation. You've also found a 1-for-1 trade here, so you can do just enough to deter. They're going to continue to head into Polo's sight line here, but he can't connect the second tag. They've got a heavy alien. They've got one tucked in towards the bathrooms. Rizu is going to start to hear this in time. It might be a little bit too late. But there's only 45 HP, of course. Missed shot though coming through from Rizu, a rare one, as he's been so sharp this series. But he'll be hitting the deck early, and now, oh man, so well. Great for the bathrooms. There's not a lot Polo can do from this position. Trying to fight for dear life, but it will take it down. It's like compromising. JT just clotheslines him as he tries to make his rotations in.
I mean, it's throughout this series, we've just had so many situations where Brazen have read so well. Like, they've read Kari so well. But, I mean, sometimes the shots don't land. Obviously, they had lesser weaponry this time around. And hopefully, we can start to see some of those conversions start to come in once the guns come out. But, man, I mean, it feels as though Brazen have been, quote-unquote, the smarter team in this series. But they've overthought themselves in some situations, and in other cases, the individuals of Kari have stepped up. Cryptic, especially on this map of Overpass, his impact has been worth its weight in gold. We saw it on Nuke as well, but I'm really impressed, and I feel like he's one for the future because he's been putting in some real work here in the series.
Oh, he is, yeah, no doubt in my mind. The guy's dedicated as ever, so I mean, the sky is the limit depending on how much this guy can do it. I mean, if there was ever someone to really activate on your T side and to deliver you what is a tricky clawback into this map, it would be him. And he's leading the pack in a big way. I mean, we saw off the pistol what he can do. So some serious promise shown from Kari despite that scary scoreline here as they make their way on towards a free BB bomb site. Resistance offered up here. It's just going to be one of those rounds here where they try and pull off a late flank. What an interesting little hit. I haven't seen that one before.
Where are they throwing
He's
that
even
from?
got the util.
Do they need all monster for that? Oh, okay. You need quite a bit of space to utilize that in later rounds, though.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe a little bit impractical, but one that you can add to your, still very situational.
Getting art on the Twitters.
Yeah.
You know he's on it.
I've got, usually the nades out here fills my feed because it's always fun to learn a new, like, nade that I'll probably never practice. Oh, man. Utilizing that Galil to full effect. It's actually a little bit of damage being done. Rizzu keeping them nice and contained. Maybe a chance for more as the bomb goes down. Lawrence down low, but no conversion on the kills thereafter. So double digits hit from Kari first. But I don't think you have too much to fear once these rifles come out from Brazen.
Certainly, I mean, 2 rebuys isn't the worst thing in the world. Most importantly, on the Brazen side of things, more than damage is that AWP for Rizzu's out to play as quick as possible. Nuke AWP CT side is quite important, but on Overpass even more so. So many long lines on this map to take control and start snowballing some of these rounds in your favor. Lots of different variations that you can bring upon T's, but it's fast and it's short. Look at all this space that Kari's taking up. It's quick on Infinite.
They're really just throwing one of these rounds out of the hat, hoping that it sticks, but no, the only one sticking around is Dane. Last man standing on this B bomb site, but he puts up a heroic defense. Florence, I'll have to pick up the pieces here, but I think the job's been done. Some exit damage could be good, but Dane still just peaks at the perfect timing. A massive 4K. That's what I mean. He's just an absolute anchor, a rock that you can entrust so much in, and he shows exactly why.
He's had a couple of impactful rounds throughout this series, and this one might be one of the most important ones yet. Chipping away at the Kari economy. Fantastic work done from Dane. I mean, it just felt like those flashes didn't necessarily hit this time around. They just fell into a complete blender. They smoke off the short Molotov. They get all that space down at the wood wall. And that's all for naught. Crossfire is just a bit too strong here for the CTs. And we've got to go back to the drawing board if you're a Kari Esports fan. Look at this. Starting to be a bit more aggressive as Rizzu. Okay. A bit too aggressive. But the inflections are there.
Yeah, you saw the play. You saw the vision. The execution of different story there, unfortunately. Florence, and he'll start to pull things back, I guess more so fortunately for Florence. He's the one that's capitalizing off of this, and what is Freshie given? A donation, but he doesn't realize that one more lies in behind the smoke. Dane's able to trade things out. This round is chaotic as all get out, but this is Florence with the weapon of choice picked up off his fallen foe, and one left standing in Polo on this A bomb site. Left to his own devices here. Got great utility left into the pockets. Florence with the entire belt at his disposal, but all he needs to do is get this one simple clear. Will he be diligent? Spots the shoulder, lands a tag, and now it's going to be bagged up by Niise. Dane left into a 1-on-2 here, a tricky one. But we talked about his impact late in this game, and he needs to show it for one more round.
How is this round falling apart? I mean, it's just chaos all over Overpass. And, I mean, you've got quite a bit of utility to flush out some of these players, but A-side retakes, man, in the clutch are just so difficult. You'd have to make some serious mistakes to drop the ball. It seems like we're teed up for an 11th here. Kit up for Dane. Smoke on the bomb. But Niise is a bit too fast on the trigger. Dane with a really difficult fight to clear out Flower. And that aforementioned 11th is confirmed for Kari Esports. Honestly, Cole, I wasn't expecting for this to be this back and forth, this, you know, contested from Kari. I mean, I was fully affirmed that we'd be marching on over to a third quite soon, but we're kind of in for a long haul here.
Yeah, Kari have something to say on their T side. And honestly, I feel like if you're Brazen, the constant CT aggression, it looks a bit disjointed, I'll be honest with you, right? We saw the wide play coming through from Rizzu. These are some mistakes, and these are mistakes that you might expect from Kari, right? With the lesser experience, but these are coming through from some of the veterans, right? Rizzu has so much ECL experience under his belt, and he's going out wide on long, trying to completely isolate himself on these angles, and that's just kind of no man's land that he's left in once things go south. And look where it leaves him off at, Brazen. A very bad buy.
Momentum's quite a dangerous thing to have on the offensive half. We know how fickle the CT money can be. Just the Eagles. I mean, we've seen a couple of crispy deegs from Brazen throughout this series. Don't get me wrong, especially on this map. You think back to that half buy that allowed them to amass this 8-round haul. And it came down to Infinite and Grape both chiming in. They've got to do it again. They've got to find a way to break this momentum, break this confidence that Kari's been building up, and stifle this offensive half. But it's not looking that way earlier on. JT with an opener. A quick one at that.
Catches some really good timing there onto the peak of Grape, and really you just don't see a lot of overextension coming through from Kari. I think that their positioning right now on the map is pretty sound and solid when you have a 4-on-5 advantage too. You know, Freshy's the only one that's untradeable, and he's playing this round so careful. Little reroute though in towards the B bomb site as they show presence towards A, and this is right in upon for Brazen. They're gonna start to bring in 4 players on this bomb site, perfectly timed as well. The utility starts to line on A, so do the shots with the Deagles, and oh, they're raining out. Dane with a beautiful one. Polo steps up, Rizu as well. Everyone comes collapsing on the bomb site. Kari have nothing to say in this round, and the deadly Deagles are just enough to get Brazen back in this half.
That's exactly what we were looking for. We had one in the first half, and we get to see the Deegs rear their just insane potential. Rizu closes it out with his trusty AWP, and we're right back into this. I mean, talk about dropping the ball from Kari. It felt like they had every piece of the puzzle, but just that much more efficient on the Deegs for Brazen. Double digits now achieved for the CT side, and it's down to an eco here, Cole. I mean, it felt like we had a tail that we could spin here, but as time continues to go on, I really don't know which way we can really tilt towards.
Yeah, we're gonna tie things up at 11s. I mean, pretty much. A whole lot less teeth to this purchase than what Brazen brought to the table, and that was a round that they were just so desperate for, right? They needed a lifeline like that to get the ball moving once again on this defense. Lawrence gotta take care of the Opry here. I don't know if it'll really be in the wheelhouse. Surely they don't make anything at this time. Freshy's gonna find a trade. A bomb plant and a couple of kills would be massive, but approach, no, walk straight into the crosshair of Polo. There was potential. You could see it, but it's shut down. It's thwarted quickly because they don't want to let that run get out of hand.
2 kills isn't the worst thing in the world with full Glocks. But do they actually commit? Yeah, I don't even think they have enough money to necessarily buy completely behind that. And it's 4 Tech 9s and a Deagle for Florence. This is just tough stuff. What a round to lose. I mean, just the economic inclinations, the momentum swiftly changing sides, but Freshy, I mean, he's got an opener, but that might just be it. Grape pulls things back. A D again, but a nade still to follow back. I mean, we're still even Stevens, but again, oh, Rizu, hey.
Yes, all throughout the map here once again. And some of these T rounds are great at creating a bit of that chaos here. These rotations have been promising. The mid-round calls through have been exactly what they needed. Slim up shot, and Infinite not going to take his chance to miss. Instead, he's going to nail 2 headshots to pull things back into their wheelhouse, and unsure of where these last mana are here. JT Mythic going to really focus in on Connector. No one lies in this position, though. Once he realizes that, he's worried about Ghosts. He's going to have to make some tough decisions. And man, if you're JT Mythic, you were really wishing you would have landed that shot, because imagine what that could have been. Right, Infinite goes down there. He doesn't take down 2 of your teammates, and that could have been the round converted. But now, oh man, a 1-on-2. He's got to make good on that missed shot here now. With a little bit of individual heroics. That smoke to lurk up, getting some deep sight lines here. But one player, Dane, anchoring things down, and he's a one you can trust. G, in the corner here, and yeah, instantly taken care of there. That's gonna be Brazen claiming the lead.
Hopefully JT can fight his way back in terms of resiliency, mentally especially, because that could have just been the nail in the coffin that Kari needed to convert and get their heads back into this game. But it's the lead secured yet again for Brazen. And surely this is the timeout being called from Kari, right? I mean, that was a capitulation in and of itself. So close yet so far.
No doubt. They got to take some time to talk things over, that's for sure. And again, I mean, we've seen a little bit of mental resiliency. We've seen Kari really stick to their guns, despite them being in the back foot in some of these rounds and some of the momentum. So maybe if that trend stays true here, we can see some sort of resurgence from Kari. But we kind of gave them credit for it. Even though these guys are a little bit inexperienced, they know how to go the distance.
Yeah, they stay tussling with the big boys. I mean, right, whether or not they actually go down, they'll definitely go down with a really, really competitive fight. And no A presence whatsoever from Kari this time around. It's, I mean, honestly, I don't necessarily count all this playground presence as A presence. It's just connector short and back of monster. It feels more like of a B lean type of situation here for Kari. And they've thrown a couple bits of utility to show something on the long side of things. But it still feels as though that Kari have their eyes set on this B site, trying to pull just a little bit of rotations away from the B bomb site. And you can see Rizu, he's kind of flirting with the idea back and forth, but that Molotov kind of dissuades him back in. And so still, after all of the utility being thrown around, Brazen have still stayed 3 strong on this B site.
Super committed to this, right? For all the right reasons as well. They're committed to their setups and trust in their A players as well. So important here is the perfect volley thrown out to buy time. It's going to completely disjoint this A execute, or rather B execute, but Freshy still nails the open. Rizu hits the deck early. It's going to be Dane, and he's stepped up. He's been doing so all throughout. Infinite now with 3 kills of his own. And a 1-on-2 ass to Freshies. He's able to turn the corner, but on 6 HP in 10 seconds. There is no chance to close this round, surely. The nade a little bit too shallow here with the closers. Polo moving on in towards the site and will convert, capitalize there off of Infinite's impact right there, and another round, 1 for Brazen.
Definitely an opportunity there to capitalize on Freshy's entry, but to no avail. A bit disjointed on the short and monster peaks together. The double setup on Monster Reign Supreme. And a 13th on the board for Brazen. Again, it felt like a bit more space was being offered up to Kari. Felt like they had another opportunity. Again, falling by the wayside. Chances continuing to dwindle here. It's fast up connector into Polo's arms.
It's just a fast exit of the round is all that is. Cryptic, man, still has something to say in some of these rounds, right? He has a little fight left in him, but still down so low. Margins of error slim to none. Gonna continue their endeavor here. I mean, they already found 2 picks on A. How could you expect 2 more here? But that's exactly the reality that they face up against. Rizu in a bit of an odd angle could get punished here if he's not careful, but he is. Trade does come through eventually. Niise gonna make good on his fallen teammate. Too asked of him, but Infinite just steps out at the perfect time.
A setups also looking very comfortable here for Brazen. Both sides of the map looking comfortable as you'd like. Polo doing very well to get 2 down in connector. I mean, slowly but surely this Brazen lineup is looking much more comfortable. And hey, maybe you lost Nuke through slim margins. But if you can close out Overpass here, head to that 3rd map of Mirage, one that you love, a 70% win rate, 11 times played. That's what a decider to have if you're on the Brazen side of things.
Yeah, that'd be a scoreline you'd be very, very happy with. Right, taking it to a third, you know that you have the upper hand here heading into Mirage. I mean, honestly, again, when we talk about some of the individuals on this team, Mirage is just such a home territory map. I've been watching these guys play it and look good on it for so many different seasons now. So, again, when we talk about these two teams, it's going to be a massive gap of experience here. We're going to see if Brazen just have that much more stamina than some of the young guns here on Kari. Utility toss on in towards A here. It looks like that's where they want to end things. And this time, rotations are solid on this A-bomb site. The setup is steady because of this B information that they have. They're well primed to offer up a defense.
Oh, this is so tough to break if you're Kari.
Make the move on in here. Utilities prone out, and yeah, this crossfire gonna be far too much to bear for Fresh. He at least finds one. Oh, that was a miss for it. It's trying to offer up coverage, but Polo just sticking his neck out of the dice. And it's no dice for Kari. They're not gonna make their way into that site whatsoever. Brazen claiming map point here.
And finally, those reads are reaping some true benefits. The triple setup works out beautifully. Polo baited in to perfection. Map player and the Optimus player do their jobs respectively. I mean, well executed round there from Brazen. A well-deserved 15th round. Oh, I think we're heading to a third.
Yeah, we kind of expected that at the turn of the half, but we did see some fight out of Kari, and maybe that's important heading into what we could get out of Mirage, but I don't think they're gonna have much fight left on them, fortunately for Overpass. I think this could be potential closing chapter here. Rizu gonna get completely blindsided, and maybe I've spoken too soon. All of a sudden, they're gonna double peek towards Long. Jake just kind of single-handedly, and not a bad idea to just call this one off, right? You got rounds to work with, and likelihood of a 3-on-5 retake slim to none. The issue is they gotta flush out Freshie.
He's gotten away with getting another kill on a Dane. Money's a little bit all over the place here for Brazen. They still should be able to get out a buy if they can hold on to these two rifles. Pressure is low, and he does get taken down eventually. If we gotta talk comebacks, we gotta talk about competition. It has to start here. I mean, regardless of this map's result, if you're Kari, taking it to all, hey, that's already a net positive after where you were at the start of this half, or at the mid portion of this half. You go with the Mirage, hey, we want to talk about silver linings for the other side of the equation. It's also Kari's favorite map. I mean, I believe that's their most played map as well. So, I mean, you might be happy if you're on that side of the equation as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, all I'm thinking is that they bring in their 6-man rotating lineup.
Oh, then it's over, isn't it?
They call Glacia in for map 3, right? Can you imagine Mirage, Glacia, Cryptic combo? I don't think a lot of teams in ESL would have an easy time stopping that. But that might not be something they have to worry about here. They don't have to worry about Cryptic in this round. He turned the corner, but right into the obstacles there. And oh, another one found from Rizu. He's starting to land some very sharp shots.
What do you even do if you're Kari here? You've got a little bit of monster control, but they know. They're aware. They've smoked it off well. Slide back into barrels. This is a clinical round here to close things out. Rizu starting to wake up and heading into Mirage. Man, you want this guy on his feet and fragging. Dane putting up a good performance as well. I mean, hey, everybody on the base is stepping up very, very well for themselves, especially in this defensive half. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Surely the conversions will come in on Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly is much more like it right there coming through from the Brazen boys there, showing that they are that comfortable and confident team. They walk in with a solid T-side half. They lead into it with, you know, maybe struggling to really kick things off, but they figure out the winning formula and shut things down pretty swiftly there. I mean, again, there were some signs of life on that T-side, but we knew, you know, which way that game was going pretty